Good day everyone, nice to have you back. Welcome to my channel. It's a beautiful day here in Paradise once again, and I'm here to bring you another message. So Holy Spirit, Holy Ancestors, what have we got for the collective today? Please give us a clear and concise message. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. All negative energy projections will be returned to sender immediately, dissolved in the ether or deemed ineffective, or however the Holy Spirit sees fit. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you, Spirit Guides. Thank you, Holy Angels. Okay, let's get a message. So what shall we begin with? Okay, we'll take this one. And then we'll do an oracle. So do some word cards and then we'll do an oracle. And a tarot on that. Oh, we've got altering consciousness. So somebody may be, okay. Altering consciousness. Now that can actually be like drugs, or it can be, somebody might be elevating, like, or there might be something in the atmosphere I'm hearing that is shifting consciousness. You know, there's a lot of things going on out there, right? Like in the ether, in space, in the world, in the universe, that is, and at this time, you know, like people are leveling up or they're leveling down, depending on what people are doing. If people are altering their consciousness artificially, meaning, you know, like with drugs and whatnot, then that's going to keep them in a lower vibration rather than elevating. So the altered consciousness, those that we've got reduction. So with reduction here, this is a reduction of consciousness. So this is addiction, like drugs. Well, not necessarily addiction, but drugs, reduction. Something's altering people's consciousness, reducing their abilities rather than enhancing. So some people are being elevated, so their consciousness is lifted to a higher frequency, and others are actually being reduced senses. Yeah. So people could be doing that with drugs, alcohol, that kind of thing, or medications, you know, that make people foggy, that kind of thing. Altering the consciousness. This is like a real shift. We've got hiding. Somebody's mesmerised. I've got coffee all over my cards, I'm sorry about that. Mesmerised. That's okay, so we've got somebody mesmerised and friendly, so we've got a friendly, so that's a nice change, isn't it, having friendlies? Are we meant to have any of these other ones? Trio and delusional. I'm going to put them ones back in because I'm not sure those are supposed to come out. Is there anything else here? Are these ones here, Spirit, that we need to be aware of? So altering consciousness, reduction, mesmerised. Somebody could be like mesmerised. I'm seeing like with this mesmerised, with reduction here. Somebody could be reduced, you know, like as reduction, you know, like a reduction when you're analysing something, like, you know how you, what's it called? When you know, like when you disassemble to analyse everything and then you put it back together again, like you reduce it right down to the beginning, like analysing something by reduction, or like when you're investigating, you look at all the possibilities and then you reduct from them, you know, and you eliminate you know, things as you deduct. Well, anyway, you know, so it's a reduction of, but we've got I'm hearing reduction of energy. Somebody might be getting really tired. Reduction of energy. Energy reduction. It could also be I'm hearing like actually reducing energy, like energy sources, like power, like literal power reduction. Something to do with the power, could have something to do with altering the consciousness of using power. I think I was talking about something like that the other day, and I'm looking at this card here with all these cups and the fog. See the fog all around those cards? Altering the consciousness to use less power, like literally, because you know how we're talking about all these people saying, you know, we need to do all these different ways of, you know, to create power, you know, whether it's going to be, you know, like coal or, you know, solar or wind or whatever it is. I think that's what I was talking about the other day, is like the reduction of power use as a whole, because nobody's actually saying we need to, let's use less instead of trying to produce more to create more, because things like, you know, like using solar panels and whatnot, you know, like and also the wind power and things like that use more energy to make them than it does in the reduction of, you know, like environmental impact. So, but, and same as like digging up the lithium for the batteries, the powers, is like more damaging the lithium and using those batteries than it as, you know what I mean? Like, then producing power or holding power. So they have to dig up a whole lot of ground to get the lithium to make the batteries, but nobody's actually talking about the reduction of power use. I seen a video the other day, can't remember what it was called, and there was these people on there, and they were like in Africa, African countries, you know, like very remote, and like they lived in sheds and whatnot, and they just had like little, you know, like they might have just had a little solar panel on top of their little humpy, and they were connecting them up to each other. I'm not sure exactly how that worked, but in smaller communities, like they were just little tiny communities with only, but they were saying how, yeah, like to join everybody up to one, you know, within each one of those communities, they have their like holding system, like battery power, you know, like the holding of the power that they draw from the solar panels, but they were all joined up together and they all went into the one system. I don't know how more effective that is, or they go into their own grid, you know what I mean? So, I don't know why I'm talking about this, but I'm obviously talking about this for a reason, right? So, anyway, but these people only had a little tiny panel like this. So, like, for us in the West, to power our whole, whatever it is we're using, we have our whole roofs covered in solar panels, right? Because we use so much more power. So these people in these little communities, it works right like that, because they don't use much. They would have a fan going, and that would be it. You know, well, it's a bit like that for me here. I've got a fan going, and that's all I'm using the power for. I pump the pool like for 2 hours a day whilst the sun is there, so you can use the power when the sun is up, and you know, like it's going straight in, which without having to store it. You're using it while it's there, you know what I mean? So storing it is for like nighttime, you know, with your TV or your computers or your lights and that sort of shit. I don't even use them. I don't use much power at night because I pretty much go to bed with the sun, you know. I get up with the sun, go to bed with the sun. And so do a lot of these other people in smaller communities. So they only use a small amount of power, so they need less battery systems, you know what I mean? But everybody else, or, you know, like people in the like Western communities, I wouldn't even say communities, cities, all that, they use so much power just with lights and everything flashing, and everyone's got to have this and everyone's got to have that, you know, like people use so much power. But they were trying to market this system that was coming from these small communities, but nobody was saying anything about the reduction of use rather than the, you know, how do we make more power? It's more, it should be more like, well, you know, like the reduction of consumption. And you know, like that means consuming everything. If we're to use less power, we are to consume less of everything because the production is what uses a lot of power, you know. Okay, so and this is what I'm getting here with this altering the consciousness, altering human consciousness to use less rather than more. But everything that's been marketed towards us is to use more power rather than less. People do need to go out and look at how a lot of these smaller communities live, you know what I mean? They don't use much power at all. And usually, and they're usually the ones that have been persecuted for being, you know, like, I won't say persecuted, but I said that for a reason, but, yeah. You know, like, when there was these powers, you know, like, I'm not going to name anyone or anything like that, but you know, these higher powers in our world that have a lot of control of things, you know, talking about the eradication of poverty. Now I say eradication because that's the language they use. So, but these people that they say are in poverty are people that are pretty much self-sufficient. This is where, but they want everybody to be attached to the over-consuming society, right? But you see all these smaller, you know, like communities and whatnot that have all been rounded up to be taken out, apparently helped to be taken out of poverty. I mean, my mother, for instance, in going back to the 50s, the 40s and the 50s, they were like taken away and put in homes because they were taking them out of poverty, apparently, because there was this thing, her mother was left on her own, her father was an alcoholic and buggered off with someone else. And the mother was on her own, but see, they were self-sufficient. She had her uncles and that there. They used to, you know, like, they used to hunt and they would, you know, like, live free, basically, grow their own vegetables and things like that. And they were living free, but they chose, but the powers that be took the children away. There was 5 girls. But 3 of them were taken away, the oldest and the youngest were left with the mother. But the other ones were put into an orphanage because of that reason. So this is still going on, you know, like apparently eradicating poverty for people that are actually living self-sufficiently, right? Apparently in poverty, but this is actually much more sustainable than the way they are trying to push everybody into these big centralised cities and whatnot, where they use a whole lot of consumption. Makes absolutely no sense. And this is all written in, you know, like these agendas that they have for us. Anyway, let's get on with the reading. So let's get this down to a micro level rather than this macro sized. So we've got remote monitoring and altering brain waves. Oh my God. So this is altering consciousness, right? Altering brain waves. People's thought patterns, how they think, how they, you know, how they reason. With reduction here, I'm getting, you know, how people reason and think about. And I think this, yeah. So, okay, altering the brain waves so they can manipulate them to think how they want. You know, like this is giving me all this like clouded bloody cups here. Everyone's confused about, you know, what bloody product to buy on the shelves because there's that many different types, right? Or, you know, like to choose a self-sufficient life or to be already born into that is something that needs to be valued and kept, you know, because this is really the only way in the future if anyone's going to survive. We've got 395. So if you want to have a look at the patent for this remote monitoring and altering brain waves, this is a patent for that, this number. So if you hashtag patent and then this number 3951134, you can check that out. It should come up if you hashtag patent and then the number, it should come up. So let's see. Ultrasonic speech translator, communication system, bottom of the deck. Okay, so I'll give you another number. If you're interested, write it down. These are all coming out here. Okay, hashtag patent, ultrasonic speech translator. So we've got 55397005. So hashtag it. Hashtag patent. Okay. And then we've got silent subliminal presentations. Presentation? Maybe that's meant to be prevention. No. Silent subliminal presentation, it's meant to say. Silent subliminal presentation system. Silent subliminal. Because this first card that came out, remember, is altering consciousness. So remote monitoring and altering brainwave consciousness is the first one, right? The first patent card I gave you. This one here is the silent subliminal presentation system. Hashtag patent 5159703. You can hopefully bring that up and you'll know exactly what that is. It'll tell you. So anyway, yeah, that's what I was getting, like something in the atmosphere, right, coming through, altering frequency, alteration. Ooh, shit, I just turned over a card then, it said anthrax. I don't know. No, let's just go with these cards, right? So we'll do an oracle first. Okay. Let's go the Aboriginal Healing Oracle. See what comes up with this. I haven't done these ones for a while. Clarify altering consciousness, Holy Spirit. So this is the healing. These are the healing cards. So this might actually give us something that we can use to protect ourselves from these things. Because this is like a downgrade of consciousness rather than wild fennel calmness. Fennel. Okay? Staying calm, yes, because, you know, like a lot of the media is used for, you know, like we know the media is the ultimate consciousness alterator. Put it like that. That's funny, right? Consciousness alterator, the media. And you know, like they put all this fear and hatred and all that sort of stuff into our minds. So Spirit's saying to keep calm. So you can make like fennel tea or something like that to, you know, like, actually that came out yesterday. It was like, you know, like people going off because people are getting angry about things that are going on in our world. They get angry and they don't know how to like emotionally calm themselves to deal with things properly. So, you know, drinking fennel tea, right? Like it's telling us to stay calm, right? Because as soon as you overreact, you can react like over the top and get arrested, or, you know, and then that's completely ineffective, right? Staying calm and doing things in an orderly manner is the only way, and keeping things without violence, because otherwise, you know, some powers that be that, you know, the intention may be, you know, martial law. And so if we are acting in a violent way because of anger, because of forced systems being put upon us, it'll give them the power to be able to stop what's the word? Stop the, you know, like to put in more systems to, you know, like take more power away from us. You know, like to give up our freedom. You know, it'll be to give up our freedom if we are to somebody doesn't want me to say something, to retaliate in violent ways, okay? Everything has to be done, and, you know, like, rather than be in it, right, where they're trying to push everyone's buttons, right, so that they can bring in more, you know, like, take away more freedoms, is for us to be, you know, violent and overreactive, and that's why they put us through trauma, so that we will, you know, act erratically, you know what I mean? So it's best to actually step right back away from it and just make changes in one's life to step out of it, you know what I mean? Put in systems quietly, without getting out there and doing all this carrying on, because that way there can be like a quiet wave, a ripple that comes from below, that is less detected, right? You hear what I'm saying? Okay. I hope you understand where I'm coming from. So we got the kangaroo, intuition. To use one's intuition, a kangaroo with intuition. Oh, I love it. You know, like I have a very, very close relationship with the Yolngu, as they call them in the Noongar language from where I come from. Blackwood, flexibility. Using one's intuition in a calm. See, you can't pick up the intuition if, you know, like, say if you're overreacting to things, you know, you can't read things well if you're like in a agitated state, you know. Your intuition comes when you go into that peaceful state, into that calm. So we've got blackwood here for flexibility. I don't know how that is used, the blackwood. The actual image on this type of blackwood with the wattle blossom, you know, like that particular one, it's not edible. There is a lot of wattles that are, the acacias. So anyway, with flexibility, we have more options. Now flexibility is like, you know, like it's like having more options, you know, being able to be able to do this or do that, you know, like, so using our intuition in a calm manner, we can be more flexible and we can think more clearly to take actions, right? Wait for those downloads from the Holy Spirit to bring you the options, you know what I mean? If you have faith in the Holy Spirit, you go into that calm state and you use the intuition that God gives you to hear what options there are. They come to you when you need them, like that. If you can go into that calm state. Somebody's mesmerised by something with this reduction. So pulling away from like most of these, you know, technologies, a lot of stuff that's been used, like a lot of earplugs and like hearing aids, things like that are, you know, designed to alter the brainwaves. Kira, attentiveness. Yeah, be attentive. This is like staying in, staying aware, staying alert, you know. And if people are altering their consciousness with substances, alcohol, drugs, medications, all these things, media, television, it's like anything that's distracting one from being in the present. You only get the downloads if you're completely in the present. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here, I can feel the breeze from my fan, I can hear the crow outside, I can feel the temperature on my skin, I can feel the sweat on my body. When people are altering themselves and distracting themselves with substance or other type of distractions, they're pulled out of the right now. What is it they're feeling? Like the sounds. So this is the senses, right? And we're talking about altering consciousness, right? Being very, very present, listening, feeling on the skin, smell what's around you. You know what I mean? The feelings, the air, the temperature, sounds, bird. You know what I mean? Staying in that attentive, in the moment. If one keeps looking at like the news and TV and what's going on over there and what's going on over here, you're not in the now. What is important is what you're in right now, right? And if you're very conscious of what's going on around you, then you always know how to act. You know how to make the next move because you're right now. You're not looking at anything else. Alright? Attentiveness. So what's this friendly? Let's see who the friendly is. Okay, we certainly had something to say, right? Listen to this message. The crows are our spiritual messengers, right? Got a message. You've been around for a few days, that one. I don't know. So we've got the Vogue on off safety. The safety with friends. So there's a friend here that might be seeing somebody as safety, or somebody has a friend that they can rely on. A friendly bygone moth. Hmm. Must be aware, being aware of one's surroundings completely. I'm hearing that song. I've got a friend in you. Is that how it goes? Something like that? Integrity is at the bottom of the deck. So somebody's friend has integrity here. Somebody's got a friend with integrity. Isn't that nice? It's nice to have a friend with integrity. I think I might have one, two, maybe, couple. People with integrity are becoming few and far between, so, you know, use one's integrity to be able to assess whoever's around you in this, you know, collective, you know, people, a lot of people come towards, you know, with, you know, the wrong intentions, and they make out they're your friend, and they're not. We've got the Empress here though. Hello, Empress. This is a friendly, definitely. Look at her. Sitting in the nature there on her throne. All shiny. Calm. So this is coming out with fennel, calm. This is the consciousness we need to be in right now. Absolutely present. Okay? Yep, this is how we gain victory. So the Empress here has got a victory. Somebody's side-eyeing someone. Ooh, somebody's burdened by somebody else's victory. Intuition. Oh, and they're going through a tower. Somebody's somebody's really pissed off because they may have been wanting to cause somebody a tower here, like big time, and the collective are just sitting here like in this calm state with on their horse. Or somebody might be going, oh, look at you sitting up there on your high horse, being, you know, just being fucking negative. Oh, I almost said a really bad word then. I'm not going to say that online. But I nearly said it, sorry. But anyway, because that's what I heard, right, from Spirit. Like. So, somebody's burdened that somebody walked away and gone and planted their own seeds somewhere, and they're not sharing their love with them. So this could have been a fake person that somebody's burdened, that somebody walked away from. And what's peeking out at the back here is the Ten of Pentacles. So collective, planting the seeds. Somebody's burdened by what is in store for you, what you walked away to, right? And they are kind of like depressed that they might not be getting anything. Flexibility. It's a group of people, tower. This can also be the flexibility of the collective celebrating a tower. Somebody may have tried to cause someone a tower, and this is somebody you know, like making the moves to use that tower to their advantage. And this is a celebration. Somebody else is stuck in their head here. Somebody else is stuck. But this is what they wanted for the collective. But the collective are very malleable. You know, they know how to take a situation. They use their intuitive to see something coming before it does, and to be prepared and know how to, like, it's like somebody throwing you a grenade and you see it coming and you catch it and throw it back. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that. Or you turn it into something else. What else could it be? That's another example. What is that like? So, you know, like, some people say that, you know, like, bad publicity is good publicity because it gives you the airplay. So somebody might be throwing shit at you and whatnot, but it actually just draws people to see you, you know what I mean? And then they make their own judgments, and they see somebody as a friendly, and somebody's mesmerised by someone. And somebody's mesmerised by somebody's attentiveness, like being on the button, you know what I mean? Waiting for those grenades to be thrown, and knowing how to catch them. Maybe even catch them and hoard them and use them in some way. Like, I just think, like, you know, like, you want to dig a hole in the garden, so you just throw it over there and it blows a hole out for you and you don't have to dig it out. You know what I mean? Like, shit like that. It's kind of random, but, you know. And that's what's going on here. Like, somebody threw somebody a grenade and somebody made a pond out of it, you know what I mean? Or, you know, they need to demolish a shed or something, so they just throw it over there. Just to make some use of it. And that's the flexibility of the collective, you know, taking the negative and turning it into a positive. That is an alchemist, right? That's the magician, that's the alchemy. You know, that's what they mean by turning water into wine, or, you know, lead into gold. That's what they mean. You know, taking something negative and turning it into a positive. Okay. Page of Wands, attentiveness. So somebody's got a message. They've made a decision about something. So somebody's got a message, somebody's made a decision to maybe contact somebody. They don't want to be out in the cold. They may be in jail, or they're in their head. Could be a King of Wands, waiting for their ships to come in. So somebody's watching someone, mesmerised. Maybe somebody's mesmerised by how somebody can just alchemise a situation, alchemise a drama. Because it's like, someone just threw a grenade in the works here. Like, let me show you how these cards look. You know, like on either side. Can I show you this? It's like, you know, you got the Empress sitting here all calm, like, you know, with their, you know, with their, I suppose you could say on their high horse, but not on their high horse. It's more like, you know, with their success, right? Sitting calm and peaceful with their success. Somebody's side-eyeing and then want to throw a grenade in it because it just looks too peaceful, right? So they throw a grenade in it and then the Empress over here just alchemizes it and turns it into a celebration of some sort. And, you know, like, it just calms the situation with a conversation, right? So there could have been a group, so somebody threw a grenade into this calmness, right? Throw a grenade in there. There was 3 people having a discussion, and somebody's walked away with an answer. So that's the alchemy, right? It's like somebody wanting to throw another problem, throwing problems at somebody, and then somebody just like finding a solution over and over again, I'm getting, by using one's intuition. Finding a solution always to be able to make a decision in that calm space, right? So somebody could have been very disappointed. So they're mesmerised on how one can just come up with answers to their staged problems, and how they find safety and friendliness in a situation. Yeah, so this is like then negotiating and making friends, you know, in safety, without the explosion. And this is integrity, okay? But somebody else is in reverse. This could be an organisation, a group. Don't want to be left out in the cold. Okay, so clarify our Empress now. Some information on our Empress. Waiting for our ships to come. Yeah, somebody wanted to cause conflict. Somebody waiting for their ships to come in. This is like waiting for the seeds to grow, and then somebody wanting to cause conflict. Just as I said. Bottom of the deck, we've got the Queen of Swords. Judgment in reverse. They're not being judged. Okay. 6 of Wands, please. We've got the Lovers. This is very peaceful. This is a very peaceful energy. So somebody's made a team or something. Somebody wanted just to cause some conflict for somebody's partnerships. This is an injustice. Clarify this Tower, please, Spirit. Page of Pentacles. So somebody could have paid somebody to cause a tower. Or this is somebody like throwing in, yeah, it could be even showing pictures or information. Somebody throwing a spanner in the work for somebody. And it's like somebody giving somebody something. Like paying somebody, giving somebody money for something to cause someone a tower. Or somebody passed on this could be somebody receiving some information and running with it. You know what I mean? Like it's like somebody planting a seed, somebody or gossiping, you know, like, or making a drama somehow with their communications, you know, like getting all wound up, getting somebody all riled up to throw somebody a grenade, you know. But somebody not really bothered about it. Page of Cups and the Justice is in reverse, so it's an injustice. So yeah, it certainly wasn't very respectful. But somebody alchemized something, but it was a couple of people that. So we got some truth here now with the High Priestess here from in reverse. Could have been an instigator here, but now we have some truth about this. Somebody knows who was the instigator in this situation. A high priestess could be a Virgo, doesn't have to be. It's a witch. Or a very, very manipulative person. Yeah, somebody was unable to achieve something here. So, okay, the Ace of Swords. Yeah, so somebody wanted to wound someone. Someone just wanted to hurt someone. Right? Ace of Wands, Page of Wands. Yeah, they were longing to wound somebody. They wanted to wound somebody. They wanted to hurt somebody. So their plan didn't work. The Ten of Swords is in reverse and somebody just walked away, right? And we got the Hermit. Yeah, somebody just walked away and went within and just had a little look at the situation. And who partnered up to do whatever it was they did. Two of Cups. Someone was not a star. They thought they were. This could be an Aquarius. Or somebody who just somebody could have been pretending, like pretending to be that friend, pretending to be a friendly, and they're not. And whatever it was, their plan didn't work out. It's over now. Yeah, it's ended. So we've got the Four of Swords and the World card there with Judgment. It was poor judgment. It was just stupid. Whatever this is. The Star and the Two of Cups. We've got the King of Wands. Who is this King of Wands then? An Emperor. This must be our friendly. Got an actual Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Who is balanced. So this could be a friendly friend, a balanced person, and a Queen of Swords. Gemini, Aquarius, could have an Aries. So the Emperor could actually be the collective. Friendly. But we do have the Devil here. Somebody wanted to balance something out with this King of Wands. But we've got this Devil energy. Could be a Leo. With no love. Who's part of a coven, or this could be a leader of a group or something. And a King of Swords in reverse. So this is like a nasty, cold, manipulative, someone with no integrity. They've got no love. They think they've got a stronghold. Oh, they could be going to jail. Could be in jail. They're watching. Someone could be watching from jail. So let's get another deck. How are we going for time? Okay. What are we going to have here, Spirit? So we can clarify some of these people. Somebody might have wanted the collective to go to jail. Or be in their head or something. To alter someone's consciousness. Bring somebody down to a lower level. Somebody wanted to wound somebody here to bring them down to, bring them down, you know what I mean? Reduce the frequency. But somebody's found a safe place. An equilibrium with the Six of Pentacles here is balance. So, I'm interested to see who this star in reverse here is. Clarify Leo at the bottom of the deck. Star in reverse. Oh, shit on cards. The star in reverse with the Two of Cups, please, Spirit. Police. So somebody could be a police officer. A mother. A mother is a police officer. It's an Aquarius who wants to partner with someone or made a decision to partner with someone. So since the police here, this could be an investigation with the Hermit. Right? Clarify this High Priestess over here in reverse. This is a leader of a coven, or she could be a leader, or it's just somebody, a father figure. As a leader of a coven. They're a High Priestess in reverse. This is a Farga. A father figure that's in feminine energy. This is like a bitchy father. Manipulative. Acting like a lady. You know, like a bitch, right? Wow. They wanted to wound someone. A Leo wanted to wound someone. They wanted to come and bring a message. And they were nasty little bitch. Nasty little bitch. So we've got a brother in a church here. Brother in a church. Could be this father, could be this Leo. Take it as it resonates for you. People working together. Somebody's daughter is in reverse in a hometown. Not someone's daughter in a hometown? I don't know. Clarify the Hermit, the decision. The Hermit and the decision, somebody's assertiveness. The Hermit and the decision. Assertiveness. A sister was assertive. So clarify this conflict over here. Something to do with somebody's lovers or something? What are the lovers? Clarify the lovers. There. 6 of Wands. Aries. Got an Aries. Page of Pentacles. Clarify. An auntie. Auntie. Somebody could have partnered up with their auntie. 5 of Wands. Hometown. So this is a conflict in a hometown of an empress. Waiting for the ships to come in. Somebody waiting for a conflict. with someone's husband. Somebody's husband involved in this conflict. So who's this King of Wands over here? The Queen of Swords, King of Wands. Oh, Leo. Could be someone's niece and is unfriendly, a non-friendly. Coming out like they're a king. Queen of Swords, clarify. Sagittarius. Sagittarius is coming out as a Queen of Swords. Interesting. Six of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Gemini, balanced. Coming out as balance. So Gemini's coming out as balance. So with the love card here, that's Gemini because that's the balance, right? That's the masculine, feminine energy in a balanced energy, right? Gemini coming out as balance. Emperor, clarify the Emperor. It could be that this Gemini is the Emperor. Emperor, clarify. Because that's balance and this person is an Emperor. Oh, that's too many, Spirit. Aquarius. Too much. Could be FBI. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry, Nana. She's under my feet. Yeah, Libra at the bottom of the deck, that's balance. Okay. Emperor, clarify the Emperor, please, Spirit. Sorry, I'm looking out the window. There's a car out there. And a car parked. Emperor. An Emperor is a friend. It's just the friendly. That's what I said before, right? This person's the friendly. Okay? So somebody is a friendly. So, just a little bit more, oh, there's a dog out there too. Let's do a little bit more, what's in research? Oh, let's try the Kipper. Oh, there's two dogs out there. Well, that one looks like Luna. Wow, very much like her. Wow, looks like it could be her. If I would have gone out there, I would go, oh, Luna, what are you doing out there? She looks just like her. Wow. She's not, though. She's sitting underneath the table. Okay, let's have a look at this calm Empress. The Lovers, success in love. So this is giving me this calm energy. So somebody got somebody coming in. Maybe it's this friendly Emperor. An official. It's a military person. Coming out there. Clarifies Aries. Please, Spirit. the good lady. Somebody got Aries in their chart? An auntie? Clarify this High Priestess in reverse. This father. The High Priestess. A rich girl in reverse. Did I not say somebody was a bitch? Coming out as a father.